My name is Michael Williams, founder of the Start Speaking Training Center and of the Pro 90D Speech System. I'm very excited about this interview. I'm going to be interviewing a lady named Joyce Smith, and she's 68 years old and will tell you more about her story in this interview. But what I want you to notice is I want you to watch the before Joyce, and then I want you to watch the after Joyce. It's very exciting. I don't want to say any more. Go ahead and watch the entire video. I am certain you'll be glad that you did. So I'll see you inside the interview.
My name is Joyce Smith, or Minette Joyce Smith. I am 68 years old, and I've been stuttering from let me see, I think I remember about 5 or 6 years old. I think, I'm not too sure, but I think that. And after that, because people let me become aware of it by telling me sometimes, don't talk so fast, slow down, don't do this, don't do that. See, I feel that was very bad. In school, when it's my turn to read, the teacher always put someone else with me, and whenever we are reading together, I wouldn't stutter.
Right. I
have been to 2 courses in England.
Oh.
About let me see, 1, 2, and 2 courses in the States, and as far as I remember now, 3 courses here in Bermuda.
Wow, 2, 4, so like 9 different courses.
Yes, 2 or 8. Yes.
Okay. And when was the last one that you attended?
Oh, was last year sometime. It was about though for about 5 weeks.
Okay. So
yeah, 1 hour. Yeah.
What made you think that I could help if you've been to all these different courses around the world? Why did you think I could help you?
Well, I looked at your video, and you look very okay. To me, you were really telling the truth, and you believed what you was saying, and somehow I believed you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I said, I am going to try it.
Now, you mentioned to me something about for 1 week you were fluent.
Oh, yes. Yes. After watching the ABCs of stuttering, yes, and I was so surprised, because right after I was finished looking at it, I started to practice, and I was so amazed.
All right, this is Michael Williams, and I'm here today with Miss Joyce Smith, who lives in sunny Bermuda. Is that right? Is that where you live, Joyce?
Yes, it
It
is.
is. And Joyce is a very, very special client and a special guest, and we're going to talk about her story some today. Joyce is 68 years old, believe it or not, and she's got some very encouraging things to share with us about her journey and about some of the things that she's done today. So, Joyce, first of all, tell us, what was life like for you growing up as a person who stuttered?
Really, growing up, stutter, I was ashamed, angry. I was afraid to talk to people.
Mm,
Most of the times, I was in the background, and I really wasn't happy.
okay.
Yeah.
So, what made you start to go out and look for help? In fact, when did you start to look for help? Like, how old were you, and what kind of help, did you find?
I started looking for help in my 30s.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay. And what kind of help was it? Like, did you do speech therapy, or did you try different programs?
Yeah. For speech therapies. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's what you did. Now, when we first met, you told me about several programs that you went to around the world, actually. So tell me a little bit about those. I know you don't remember the names of some of them, and others you do. And I'm sure that they were all helpful in one way or another. So just tell us about some of the programs that you've traveled to.
Yeah. Well, I've been to England 5 times
Wow.
for speech therapy.
Okay.
Well, yes. Most after the initial visit the first time, then you go on return visit, yes,
Okay.
yes. But the first time I went, I was fluent for a little while, but then coming back home in my own environment, I flopped.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Now you stayed there. You actually stayed in England for how long?
15 months.
15 months. Okay. But then when you came back to your own environment,
Still, it still didn't work when I came back in my own environment.
okay. And where else did you go? I think you went to a few other places for programs.
I went twice to the United States,
Okay.
and in my own country here, I think I've been to 3 speech therapists,
Okay.
but no one could help me.
And one of the programs you saw on the news, on a news program, right? And you went to that.
Yes, that was the Maguire program.
Okay. And that's a very popular program, and it does help. It does help a lot of people.
Yes,
So it's
yes,
a good program.
yes.
So you've been to the U.S., you've been to the U.K., and where else have you been? Anywhere else, or that's it?
That's that's about it that I can remember.
Okay. Okay. So what is it that drew you to this approach, to this program?
Um, at this point, I was a bit disgusted because the the court system had sent me a summons to be on the jury, and when the policeman brought this summons, he could see that I couldn't, and he really looked at me pitifully. And then he told me what I could do to write a letter to the judge.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so I did.
Okay.
So I was exempt from it. But still, I was feeling you know, useless, helpless, Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I was just playing around with the computer because I was just learning how to use it. And I came across you and I was stuck. I said, this is it. And I'm enjoying it ever since. Yeah.
So tell me now, we've been working together, well, it's probably been about 6 weeks now. I think it's been around 6 weeks or so. And what are you able to do now that was difficult or that you couldn't do before?
First of all, I could go to a restaurant and order what I want. Before that, if I wanted a turkey sandwich and I couldn't say it, I would order something else, which I don't like. Yeah. It was embarrassing to let people see that, I stuttered because I would be doing all these movements and it's embarrassing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And now, I can I can approach people now and talk and don't feel that I'm going to stutter.
Right.
Yes.
And you shared with me one particular experience that really made you feel great, where you could really see the results. What was that?
Yes. I went to the medical house to get some supplies. And for the first time, I was asking for the things and talking to the ladies and didn't even realize that I wasn't stuttering until after, And it was a good feeling, man. I felt like I could fly,
Right,
Yeah.
right. And now, just if for those of you that are watching this video, I will have already shown you a little before clip, just so that you could see of where Joyce is coming from. So you've already seen a before clip, and now you're seeing how she's speaking now. And Joyce has been, you've been stuttering for how many years?
68 years.
So pretty much since you could remember, right?
Yeah, since I could remember, yes.
Right. And you've tried all different kinds of things. And I think you told me that you had almost given up, right? Before.
Yes, I did, At one time, I felt useless. I didn't even want to think to work things out, to read, because I said it doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to be able to do it anyway.
Hmm.
Yeah. But now I'm sorry I didn't. Yeah, it's stuttering is it's a hurtful thing. It's shame, you know.
Hmm.
But now I'm not anymore. Yeah.
And one of the things that I require people to do is to model and to memorize. And I remember you used to say, "Oh, well, my memory's not that great," but
Yes.
you've memorized, I don't know, at least more than a minute or a minute and a half or something of the video. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. My sister even said to me that whenever I start to give my talks, my small talks at the Kingdom Hall, that she know that I would be able to recite everything. I wouldn't have to have papers, to look at,
Okay.
But after she see what I've done,
So this is
with,
yeah. Go ahead.
after she sees what I've done with the introduction that you gave me
Yeah.
to go through, yeah.
So this has even helped your memory then.
Oh, yeah, it's back. It's back, yes.
Very good, very good. So this is one interview that I'm doing with you, and we're going to do some other ones, but we're going to wrap this one up. But if you could tell people stuff, because there are folks out there that I bet you most of them are a lot younger than you. I bet you most, in fact, all of my clients are younger than you, starting from 9 years all the way up to 50 something. So people feel like, well, I'm too old, or they feel like, well, my memory is not good, or they think, well, I've done speech therapy, I've tried all of these different programs, none of them have worked. What would you tell them?
Look at me. Look at me. I would tell them that, you know, like me, I believed what I saw, and I made up my mind that it will only work if I'm dedicated to it, if I practice. Yes.
That's yeah. So I want to leave with that, and then we're going to pick back up and really talk about that in the next interview. But I want to leave with this thing of you believed it would work,
Yes.
right? So you didn't come in and say, well, I'm going to try Michael out and see if it works.
No.
You actually said what?
I believe it. I have faith.
Right.
I believe at one point we were talking, you know, I told you that I have the faith, you know, I believe it will work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then second, you have involved your employers, your sister, your children, and everyone friends to keep you
Yeah.
accountable, to remind you, and you stay alert and stay on top of your speech all
Yes.
day, every day.
Yes, because if I'm talking, I'm going too fast and I'm blocking, they would say, no, 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 Joyce, hold it, you know, go back. Yes. My employer, one of my employers, she's 95. She doesn't give me a break, you know, and I love that. You know.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Good. So you believed it would work, there was no doubt, and you stayed on top of it,
Yes.
and you had other people to help you stay on
Yeah.
top of it. And you practiced, because I know you practice because you present the videos
Yes.
to me, so I know that you're doing the practice.
Yes, you know, and even though I do have a busy schedule, you know, but I make the time for it, you know, because you know I want to be fluent.
And
Yeah.
I think most people would say that you are. Yeah. Now, we still have some work to do, but again, when people see the before video, they're going to see how far you've come. And this is the way you talk to me whenever we're meet. I think it just took you a few weeks of really hard practice. And now you're at a point where whenever you talk to me, you pretty much speak this way. I mean, you pretty much don't go back to the way you spoke when we first started. So thank you very much, Joyce, and we'll be doing this again, and we'll focus more on some of your insights into practicing and helping and having people keep you accountable, and just more things that you might want to share with people. So we'll do that in the next interview.
Okay, and thank you for taking me this far, because if I hadn't met you, you know, I would be still struggling, whatever, you know.
Yes.
So thank you.